This is my topic. I'm going to talk about the story about design and a local place and how these together, they influence each other and improve each other. Now look at this. When we talk about design, what is design meant to you? Design is not just dealing with all deco, beauty, aesthetic things. It actually is a tool putting things in order, together, systematic way. Like you see this, repetition, line. When you see this, chaotic. What does it mean? Today, I'm going to tell you that I'm going to do in my previous project. I will choose one example about local place. When we talk about design, city, it seems to be has a privilege to enjoy all the design culture, shopping mall, fitness center, a lot of the sport facility. Now, this is a project to make a design access to the rural place or small town or local place to everyone. To me, a good design should be enjoyed by everyone regardless of the price of the cash. This is a project located in the Pangkor Island, Perak, a small island situated in the west coast of the Malaysia. It has the multiple perception to the different people. Why I say that? Now, you get closer. When you Google it, Pangkor Island, most the spot coming to you is all the tourism spot. Pangkor Laut, Damai Laut, and you go in again, it's a lot of the all the resort and the hotel, boutique hotel, you come up to pop to you. This is the first come to you and all located or focused in the west of the Pangkor Island. Why is that? Because of the beautiful beach. This is a picture took by me. A good place for holiday, short escape from the city, from the town, and also it means that a good place for the tourism development. Okay. That's why the West always capture a lot of the capital's investment. Right. And all this capital invest in the tourism industry. From the budget hotel to the 5-star resort, landscape design, a luxurious restaurant, sport facility, lot of job create to the architect, landscape architect, designer, interior designer, graphic designer, all these visual. But I can tell you that all these design products were not really enjoyed by the local people because you need to pay to go inside, right? Well, actually, the first impression, if you take a boat from Lomot, which is the one way you can access into Pangkor Island, once come to you, the first is the fishing village. It has been there for at least 100 years, before the tourist industrial developed in the West. You see all these fishing huts, boat, fishermen repairing the net, fishy smell, someone is not like it, stingy. Now I want to take a closer look for the West, Telok Nipah. Right? It used to be all this, you can't access it. I think it's just 20 years ago you can access into. There is the road, there is a route to the island. So one of the new tourist spots on the West are full of the budget hotel, guest house, very good for the local economics. Yeah, good for the local people. But I can tell you that actually it's only in the like a tourism, right? Local call this Telok Nipah as a coral bay. Literally, used to be a lot of the coral reef. Okay, now the Pulau Giam. Look at this. It's a big pulau, and this is a Pulau Giam. It's just 400 meters away from the main island. What I want to tell you, and I want to show you some interesting activity, a part of the sport activity, the CFD, like in all those beach. This is the Pulau Giam. Stand from the main island, look through that. Interesting activity, cross the sea. In the beginning of the Chinese Lunar New Year, every time, the lower tides, you can walk across, and then after a few hours, the rise back. If you can't come back, you have to swim back, or you have to take boat. All right, in few hours. This is the natural phenomena that happen in the coastline. When you cross, you see all the sea animals, sea baits, the sea, what do you call that, the star, sea plants. But now, because of the Teluk Nipa being developed for the tourism, more tourists, more visitors crossing, and actually what going costing? Damage the sea bait, right? Now I want to show you how was this damage. Same view, which is from the main island. But it was took 40 years back. I took this from the local coffee shop. Full of the coral reef is a kind of the paradise for all these divers to enjoy the underwater sea, the underwater world. Now, I am the lecturer from the architecture school. I was thinking about, I get an impact on this kind when I see the comparison. I'm thinking about how to use the design to address this issue. My position in the design institution gives me opportunity to access modern resources. Design for me is part of the modern resources. A lot of the idea, creative talents all gather in like a modern city. Now, just now the issue of the marine environmental issue in Pangkor Island, the so-called local resources, is a value to my design institution or to my project. I will talk about to start out a small design project. What I can do, an exhibition. Why I say that? Because the exhibition can tell the story. It's a narration. It's to put some people, when you visit an exhibition, you actually suspend and create something that in that moment, and then you go through the story. So I want to deliver a message of the coral reef, raise the awareness to the local, that how they can actually protect their own place. I was lucky enough there's one local named as Mr. Bay. He had a vacant space which offered me for the initial my project. This space used to be rented out in for the various type of the tenants, from Tom Yum restaurant like this one, phone shop, boutique shop, kind of in the different time, and then there is one here and there. And now it's been vacant for almost a year, and the owner is not going to seeking and others new tenants. He want to take it back and operate himself, and he got a dream that to create a place for the local. That is how we come together, right? So back to the school, I start out this. I will start out the exhibition. Then I stayed in the volunteer project instead of the school assignment. So I get all the volunteer, because when the school assignment, I know in the student they only work for the grade or the credit, but this is without credit. I'm lucky enough that this is the student that to work with me. that is the things that is you start to connect the institution to a place that is lack of the resources in terms of the creativity idea, right? Set out the traveling studio. Studio we always are at in the classroom, in the campuses. But to set up the travel studio is good. The function is that you can access to the local resources, get into the local people easily. You get the face-to-face contacts. So that is how that is. I wanted to set out this for about a week or more than a week, like 13 days. Again, owner house become the travel studio and the workshop for our exhibitions project. Soon after, second days, the friend of the owner, Mr. Tan, is this one. He showed the interest. Of course, the owner is telling him that he spread out the news as well. So Mr. Tan, he actually has the experience that to replant a coral reef in his small fishing hut. Actually, it's very easy. You just clear out the rubbish and then let the sun to get into the organism of under the water, and then the coral reef actually is grow. Within the 6 months, he showed me all this is the coral reef when the low tide. I took the photo for this. On the other 8 days, another local, they squeeze into the traveling studio, and tell us that they have got many things to show us and to tell and wanted to get the student to his house. And he showed that this is a collection of his dry and dead coral. He keep on telling us that this is not the real one. It's not. He take it and collect it when it actually is diary. Then he collect it. So and tell a lot of the past story about the Telok Nipah, the coral reef. I start to found the traveling studio class to create the interaction between the local and the designer, which is for the design student. After working with the few days with the local, we finally come out a team, sea flower. If you know how to read Chinese, rebloom means the flower rebloom. So actually, this is how the local they call coral reef in their dialect Hokkien, okay, Hai Hoa. So that is how we come up, inspired the name, and also the lifted design. You can see that is origami that is actually putting out and like a flower, right? So local start to participate in the design process. All this while, designer is lead the process. Now that is the local participation. Another outcome, the collaboration between the local and the designer, graphic visual. Remember just now that Mr. Tan told all those experiences? So that is the visual content input, information input contributed by and inspired by the local. And visual, we did the visual because we are the designer. We can transform all this information into the good graphic, right? And that's why it means that the exhibition can tell the story. So now the designer still not lead the project. Now back to the vacant space. What can we do? After finalizing the visual of the exhibition contents, we start to look into the interior design. The space, actually, when we clear out from all these restaurant, a lot of the mouse, disgusting, even though a snake, yeah. So this is a plan, if you're from the architectural background. This is a top. This is a plan. This is the elevation. We have no budget on this exhibition, so we try to search for the local material, arrange it. For example, you see all this is the net, fishing net. All this bucket from all the local vendors. So honestly, zero budget. To certain extent, owner actually giving us quite entire space. Instead of the core here, this is the exhibition space for us to design. We actually got the opportunity to design the front portion, which is we can come out the small eatery area, another event space, and maybe for the future expansion. And because of the local transportation is using the bicycle and the motorcycle, so that we have like a parking area, and we remain this area for the owner, which is we are been offered for the traveling studio. When we come to the setting up the period, all the local material, fishing net, buckets, and you can see over here, will get ready by the local and the owner. So we don't need to bother, to worry about all those things. Yeah, I think after a week, we're actually getting a bonding with them already, with the local. Including the early collection by the dry coral reef and seashell. To promote the exhibition to the local, we come up 2 posters spread around the islands in the kopitiam, jetty, or the shop. We try to tell the past and the present. Of course, this is not the real. This is the jetty. And then because we are the designer, we know how to put things together, and then so imagine that, right? The exciting moment now, Pangkor Island Festival, 2014. The organizer come to us. They want our project to be part of their program. I think that is our expectation. That because we started this by our own, right? So being part of the festival, we got the free promotion from the radio, from the media, from the newspaper, video, and those things. Of course, it drew a lot of the visitors, both from the local and the tourists. And also, we open until quite late night, until 1 a.m., because the good response by the local will come in. Because it's a local place. So once we have to follow their times, right? So it's not like in the city gathering like 8 to 10 or 6 p.m., things like that. As plans, we want, remember there is a small eatery space. So the owner he had got the interest in making the coffee. It's for his private one. Now he just take it out and serve a special coffee to the owner, by the owner to the local people. During the exhibition period. And this is his mom. And sometimes his mom also have the free, like all coconuts in the backyard. Yeah. So transformation of this empty space now get into the exhibition area and also come to with this small eatery space. It has brought in a new experience to the local because I think this is the first time a chill out space for the local instead of the kopitiam or the traditional things. After the festival, the space continues serve as the gathering space to the local people, especially for the young people. 2 young ladies interested to take over the space, upgrade this small space into a proper open cafe and the food menu, introduce the food menu such as the pizza. After they took over the place, these both young ladies actually take an extra mile to this place. Photography, they organize the photography exhibitions and also new reading corner. Now you can see the local actually take ownership to manage the space. This is also part of the vision of the owner, which want to create a platform for the local people. They want to stay the local people in the island, right? So at the same time, the owner also initiated the art program, giving a short stay to the artists and then exchange the artwork that is evocate the local environmental issue. So according to owner, this is inspired by our exhibition, the Reboom exhibition as well. Now, the space is a new hotspot for the local, even the days get into the night. Yeah. So when you Google it, lot 4004, now it's come out to you, not just about in the resort on the west. So it's a new place. I was taught that it's only for the young people. But you can see the old folks actually make use of the space in their everyday life. The grandpa and the kids as well. A family bonding place. The following years, again, 2015, the entire space was again dominated by the festival, Pangkor Island Festival. Now the space turned into the performing space. exhibition, book launching, event. Now the space is cultural exchange center, explained as well. Now we return to the local. They are now take the ownership and manage it. Another influence of the rebloom, the few young men, they make use of this place, spread out the idea of the recycling. They use this place as a collecting point. So another thing that you find out, the place there is to spread a good idea for the better living by the local. I'm happy to see the project that is from the personal initiative that become a community place. I drew this after 2 years. Because I'm happy to see all this transformation from the local and then how this universal value or from the modern into the traditional place. So this is how the story brings together the design and the local place to integrate both modern and traditional resources. Both sides actually benefit a sustainable development project. To me, this project is not just about making a cafe, exhibition area, or community place. It is a social innovation project. So a project focused on the social impact instead of the visual impact. Thank you very much. Yeah.